What's good, everyone? Today we're going to show you how to install and swap out your old valve for the new power valve, the Sterling Self-Defense. This is the HPA valve, and you can still use your old 88 gram CO2 setup too. This is just a straight through machine CNC valve with a larger air chamber inside, and it's deleted the on-off degasser switch that you're used to on the side right here. So yeah, that's going to be deleted, and also our turret is deleted, and the brass degassing pin is. So you're going to have to install your own degasser on here. I have an idea too to put one in here, but yeah, it requires drilling and tapping. So I'm going to do that to my old modified valve here. I'm going to add one of those in. I don't want to mess this up. This one's too nice. I might do it after. I don't know. I'm not sure yet. But, yeah, anyways, let's get at it, guys. First things first, take the stock off. Take your barrel off. I got it cracked. It's already loosened. So, yeah, take the barrel off. Got these screws loose and cracked, too. So, yeah, we'll pull those ones out. And then, oh, that one is just this little guy up here in the rail. Keep those together. This handguard comes off now. Yeah, like even with this power valve, you can cut half your barrel off and the guard, make it a nice shorty, and still get like around 60 joules apparently. If you add an air chamber too, you can push way higher. I've seen him hit around 135 joules. Dan did in one of his videos. Just crazy, man. Okay, next. We're gonna do our rubberized grip. So we're just gonna need, mine takes the Allen key. Got here. I had to do a little modification to get this on, but yeah, it wasn't very much. Actually, no. It was either I modified this part, which I kind of did slightly, a little bit of minor sanding in there. But if you look, there's an edge right here that was volumed, that way it wouldn't slip on, so I grinded that edge off. And then same thing with on this side. When you go to put your grip on, you'll see too what you have to do. You're going to put it on, there's going to be these little nubs here that block your way, so you just got to grind those down or cut the groove in this, and then it'll fit on. It's easier to do it this way. And that's hidden. Once you put your grip on, you can't see that damaged work I did, so it doesn't matter. To me, at least, it doesn't. Alright, so we're going to put this over here with the grip. Now we're going to get our, what do you call it? Just our little Phillips screws. You got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then one in there too, and one on the other side. So that's the only little screws we have. Typical Umarex screws. Yes, I got this screwdriver here Dan sent out. I'm not sure if it's an accident. He said he had something. Yeah, this could be, I don't know. Could be by accident. I think it was by accident because it's got missing bits and stuff too, but he probably's got a dozen of these, so. Awesome, man. Thank you. But I don't have the Phillips bit, so I can't use this right now. I need a proper Phillips bit that can reach down in there in these slots. But anyways, yeah, we'll get this. I'll get those bits. No worry. I'll look them up somewhere. I'll find them. What's that in there? Oh, it's the cable. Anyways, I'll set this aside here. Yes, we got our Phillips. Normally, I would already have had these done. I'm sure you guys don't want to watch me undo these screws. And I still don't know how to fast forward in editing. after all these years. Not all these years, I mean, it's only been a few, if that. 2, 3 years I've been on YouTube, maybe. Okay. I used to use a 00 Phillips, now I use a 0. I find the 0 works better. Strips less easy. Strips the heads of the screws less easy, I mean. And now for our selector switch. We had one in the delete switch we had to take off to get it out, but that's already gone because I modified my valve for HPA already. I did a bypass drill out job, so you can check that out in another video. You're probably better off just going and buying one of these new ones. To be honest, it's a lot of work. A lot of stress too, because there's a lot of leak points if you don't seal them right. Okay, so what am I missing? Oh, the door. The breech door. Or the hopper door. Whatever you want to call it. Okay. Oh, it's still connected here. There we go. It's because of that screw. Alright. Get that shell off. What am I missing? What am I missing? Oh, we got this guy. I'm not sure if it was this one. Nope. Nope, not that one either. What? Oh, this might be it right here. Yeah, I think this is it. Okay. I'll just take the spring out. And there's no switch. Now what? I think it's just held in with a stupid selector switch on this. Oh wait, there's a screw in it I didn't remove. That's why. Do it. There, okay. Alright, this is where we need to be at. Okay. So, what we want to get is we want to take this out now. So, we're going to drop this valve in. The one from Sterling Self-Defense. So, we need... I just had that Allen key. This guy right here. Okay. Now the last screw will be under tension, under spring tension. So, move these clamshells out of the way. Flip this over. I'm mean, it's a drop-in valve. I call it a drop-in valve because you drop. There's no drilling and modifications, but you do have to go through a little bit of work to get it in. I mean, once you do it a few times, it gets really easy when you open this thing up. But the first time can be really intimidating. So can the second. This screw's under tension, so I'm going to put this end here up against my stomach. And then I'm going to take this valve and press it inwards as I screw. It's very weak spring, so don't worry. It's not going to be overpower you. You're not going to go flying. Unless you let go of it. But still, look. There. It will fly out, but not that hard. You don't want it to, regardless. Okay, so now we've got... I'm not going to show you guys the reassembly. If you guys want to see that, I have another step-by-step video. Yeah, so this is the modified valve. Where's my wrench? Where's my wrench? Ooh, okay, break that seal. It's got a natural O-ring in there that seals. So all we're doing is we're just taking this guy and throwing him over to the side. You can still take this off. This is to mount your stock on. Your stock clicks into this. So you can take this off and put it back on the valve. He machined the parts so you still use your stock again for an 88 gram. So just take this off and put it back on there. I'm not going to because I have no use for this 88 gram stock. I have my own stocks I like to use. So yeah, let me just take these screws out here. So it's not like my valve. My valve's got a bunch of leak points. So it can leak here potentially, it can leak there potentially, it can leak there potentially, it can leak around this turret potentially, and also right in here possibly. So, and around here. But yeah, we got it sealed up pretty good, so check that video out if you guys want to learn how to do this. I can tell you right now, you're better off just going and buying one of these. Because this is a pain in the ass to do. But if you can do it, all you have to pay for is the Teflon tape and a bolt. The rest comes out. But, alrighty. So, make sure there's no dirt in there. That's where my seal's going to go. My O-ring is pretty greased. Making sure there's no drill particles in there from when I drilled my valve out. I don't have to overdo it. So now we'll put this back. Take the tool and tighten it. Oh yeah, I can feel the O-ring compress, making a nice seal. And then that's it, guys. To put this bolt back in, you can't just stick this back in. You have to open the casing back up. Actually, should I do it? Oh, no, because I have other parts here I need to make videos for. So if you guys want to see the reassembly, just go check out my my full disassembly and maintenance video. It's probably within the last 10 videos I made. But yeah, if you guys want to see how to do that, just go check that out, please. Because I need to keep this open right now. I don't want to put it back 100 times and open it again just for another small video. But I have other parts I'm going to show. Replacement parts. If you have a bad bolt tip. We got a fellow in the group, in our Facebook group. I'm not going to say his name here because it's just for privacy. But he sent me these out. And here, I'll give you a little sneak peek. But these are the tips for your bolts. Made in steel. Those cheap aluminum ones were denting and bending and coming off. And yeah, these are made with steel. So the threads were stripping right out. And this thing was coming when you got jammed. Every time you got a jam, you'd find new damage done to this. But this is on the tip of your bolt. Which is that little guy right there. But anyways, yeah. So there you have it, guys. The valve is installed. Now we can take we still have to take this piece out, which is, that's for your 88 gram CO2 adapter. We need this for the HPA thread too. Just because we have to screw this back in. This is the Umarex stock HPA adapter that comes with it. It's shorter than most of the ones you buy out in the shops. But, yeah, so we got to take that thread out. You can't just unscrew it like this. You have to remove this piece because there's a screw that goes into it that stops it from turning. I'll show you that right now. Oh, man. Screws and screws and bolts and bolts. Okay, so we're just going to take this off first. So we got that. Now we can get out that screw. It's just a little small Phillips. There, now we can actually pull this out because it's actually into the threads here, so you can't twist it out. So now we take our little tool. I just got a piece of sheet metal. And I cut it to the right size. There. Let me take that screw right out. Okay. Alright, so you just have to take this piece out right here. It's screwed into there. There's an HPA type thread in here, the same thread, like a tank I'll screw in, but it's too loose. There's no way to seal it. I've used a half roll of Teflon tape and couldn't get it sealed. But so yeah, we're also going to need that. And if you want to shoot the 88 gram CO2 still with this valve, that little plug, that piercing plug, you have to remove that as well. I have a special tool here for it. You can't see it now because I already got it out and put away in a bag. But it's the same piercing cap as the HDX. So if you've ever fiddled with that, you probably already have a tool made. So, yeah, there we have it. That's the old valve. So now we got to put this back in on the new one. Where is my tool? Oh, gee, I got this in the wrong end. I hope I don't have this cross-threaded. I don't think I do. Okay, no. It might be the... I know what it is. I gotta file this down. That's where the screw hole comes down. Yeah, that's what it is, because when it gets into that point there, it was getting really tight. So I'm gonna have to go file this out, because my screw hole flattened these threads out, if you can see. And it's causing friction in these threads, so I'm gonna just fix that out. Anyways, guys, just stick that back in, and take your HPA plug, like this. And then boom, set it back up, and now you're... In his videos, he's cracking over 100 and 135 joules, depending on his air chamber and his setup. But yeah, guys, I'm going to call this right now. So y'all stay safe. Take care. As always, if you have any questions, just ask.